Wonder when the public and the markets are going to wake up to the fact that President Trump and Mr. Besant know what the heck they're doing. Maybe Powell would even wake up and realize that the president knows what he's doing, as the statistics coming in again today, all of the different reporting shows that the economy is bending to President Trump's will. Everything is so positive. The stock market is kind of going sideways. I think they're a little unhappy because the Fed is never going to cut interest rates if the economy keeps doing this well. So let's go take a look. There's a lot to cover this morning. If you like good news, hang in here today because it's pretty much good news right up and down the line. Tesla is up slightly, about the same as the markets this morning, not its normal delta. Investing.com says Barclays says Tesla shares should or could outperform. I say should, they say could outperform following second quarter results, even as the company faces increasing weaker fundamentals. In a research note, Barclays described the setup as confusing, but stated it as upside potential. Net, we see potential for the stock to outperform, the analyst wrote, highlighting investor focus on the Tesla's long-term robotaxi ambitions. Barclays explained that the earnings call also presents an opportunity for Tesla's robotaxi/AV narrative to shine, stating that we could see Elon Musk potentially discussing fleet growth targets or expansion plans. Yeah, that's what we want him to do. We want him to spend at least 5 minutes talking about the directionality of robotaxi. Tesla is expected to post a slight sequential improvement in auto gross margin, excluding regulatory credits, but Barclays warns that it will likely remain depressed compared to prior years. The firm forecasts a 10% drop in Tesla's 2025 vehicle volume, calling the first half of the year soft and pointing to significant declines from 2024 expectations. Whereas 25 consensus EPS was over $3.20, it is now down to $1.84, the note said, although I continue to say that things could change fairly dramatically in the third and fourth quarter based on, all the things that we talk about here all the time. The expected delay of Tesla's low-cost model could also weigh on sentiment. Barclays wrote that Tesla is likely to focus on a third quarter pre-buy in advance of the expiration of the $7,500 tax credit, and as a result may delay the launch of the low-cost model to fourth quarter, which could be perceived negatively. Who said that 3 weeks ago? Still, Barclays believes the company's autonomous vehicle narrative could overshadow weaker fundamentals in the near term and the middle term and the long term. Yeah, it's going to be all about robotaxi for the next 2 quarters, and then it's going to be all about Optimus in 2026. Not to mention little things like, the rollout of the Semi, huge increases in the amount of energy deployment, etc. Okay. The Musk economy, this is from Muskonomy. Yeah, just like it sounds, Muskonomy. All right, breaking. Tesla filed a patent for manufacturing paint-free vehicle body panels, revealing a new way to make car panels with no paint shop needed. Now, we know this is going to happen. They've been talking about it with regard to the robotaxi, the unbox process, so we know this is going to happen, but there's now a patent about this. It says color is injected during production, cutting cost, time, and complexity, a total game changer for car manufacturing. Now, it's not a total game changer. I hate to disagree. We know that this has been used for bumpers and smaller body parts, but apparently there's a patent involved in doing it for these larger body parts, or maybe it's just a different way of doing it than what's been done in the past. So here's a big piece of news that will turn out my guess would, let's just do it. Uber is betting big on robotaxis with pure play electric vehicle maker Lucid as its partner. Uber is going to combine with Lucid to make robotaxis. Okay, the two companies, along with autonomous tech firm Nuro, announced on Thursday morning a next-generation premium global robotaxi program exclusively for the Uber platform. Now, the new robotaxi program would outfit the Lucid Gravity SUV with Neuro's driver-level 4 autonomous software deployed on Uber's platform and fleet management system. Uber says the big goal is to deploy 20,000 or more Lucid EVs equipped with a Neuro driver over the next 6 years. 20,000 over 6 years. They're going to be a big player in this market. Wow. The Lucid EVs will be owned and operated by Uber or its third-party fleet manager partners, and the service is expected to launch next year in a major U.S. city. A Lucid Robotaxi prototype using Neuro software is already being tested at Neuro's Las Vegas proving grounds. As part of the deal, Uber says it will invest $300 million in Lucid and a similar multi-hundred million dollar investment in Neuro. Oh, wow, we're thrilled to part. Man, I would be selling my Uber hand over fist. I'll be so interested to hear what the All In podcast guys have to say about this. I hope that the news was prior to their podcast. We're thrilled to partner with Neuro and Lucid. I mean, because they're really, who is it? Which one of them? One of them's heavily invested in Uber. We're thrilled to partner with Neuro and Lucid in this robotaxi program, purpose-built just for the Uber platform to safely bring the magic of autonomous driving to more people. According to Dara, you cannot pronounce that last name, Khosrowshahi said in a statement, this investment from Uber further validates Lucid's fully redundant zonal architecture and highly capable platform. Lucid's interim CEO, Mark Winterhoff, said, this is the start of our path to extend our innovation and technology leadership. Our leadership. Okay, let's see. Tesla, etc. Uber. Okay, Nick Gibbs has this to say on X. He says, with tears flowing from his eyes, he says, so Tesla's newest competition for autonomy will be a partnership between Lucid, Uber, NVIDIA, and Neuro. This won't fail. Bookmark this post, he says. Oh my goodness, this doesn't sound good. How many partners can, and only 20,000 vehicles is their top? Okay. I'm sorry, this is Randy Kirk, by the way. If you haven't hit the like button yet, would you do me a favor and do that? That'd be so much appreciated. Okay. Then after you hit the like button, hit subscribe and notify because, we got great shows coming up today. We've got Cern Basher around 7:45. We have got Bradford Ferguson at about 5 o'clock. Bradford will have a ton to say about this, I'm sure. Maybe Cern will also. Anyway, then joining Patreon would be lovely, or you can join YouTube here as well. Okay, the real EJ and Tony says, are you ready? Come on, the good news just keeps rolling. Import prices came in way below expectations. June was up only 0.1% month over month. It was down 0.2% year over year. May saw a huge downward revision from 0 to -4. And, that was month over month. And gosh, where are the tariffs? We're waiting for the tariffs to hit. They're not even hitting at the import level, not seeing it at all, seeing negative numbers. Oh, really? And I don't know anybody that you would watch on this channel that would have said that the suppliers are going to lower their prices, the countries are going to provide them with help, they're going to look for ways to get around it, they're going to change the products. Yeah, nobody would have said any of that stuff, because I don't know anything about import-export. All right, we got the real Jay and Tony continuing to say, Liz, are you ready? Come on. This is great. Export prices increased. Export prices increased last month as agricultural export prices jumped 0.8% month over month, the largest increase since October, and non-ag export prices rose 0.5% month over month. Prices for all exports were up 2.8 year over year. So our import prices are coming down. Our export prices are going up because why? Because we have more markets, because Trump has been out there negotiating to get people to open the markets for U.S. goods. And so the U.S. goods makers have been able to increase their prices. Meanwhile, because of the tariffs, which we're getting 100, what was it, the latest number, 121 billion or something? in money coming in as a result of these these tariffs. The prices are not flowing through according to every single person that's reporting. Nobody's even trying to report at this point that we're seeing price increases in the United States as a result of the tariffs. MarketWatch has this: sales at retailers rebounded in June. Let me say it again. Sales at retailers rebounded in June after the White House dialed back high U.S. tariffs. Consumers appeared to temporarily shrug off the trade wars and spent more on cars, clothes, and do-it-yourself projects, and also dining out. Receipts at retail cash registers rose 0.6% last month, the government said Thursday, based on seasonally adjusted numbers. That was 3 times Wall Street's estimate of 0.2%. Sales had tumbled in May at the height of the trade wars, but on again, off again trade wars have caused big shifts in when consumers spend and how much they buy. Now, I did a survey yesterday, I did a poll yesterday, and I want to say it was around 30%, about a third of the people said they're doing at least some of their decision making regarding buying bigger products, larger expenses is being put off or changed or analyzed as a result of both tariffs and the job markets. But the rest of people say, nah, just buying like normal. Americans boosted spending earlier in the year to beat tariff-related price increases. Then they cut back after tariffs went into effect, but now they appear to be spending more strategically. Auto sales showed the biggest increase among retailers. Americans are trying to time their purchase to avoid, well, not anymore, apparently. Gasoline sales were flat. That's because prices were lower at the pump. There might be flat also because there's a lot of people that aren't here anymore. Apparently, 1 million people have already self-deported, and I don't know how many people have been deported by the ICE folks, but let's guess another couple 100,000. So you got all those people leaving and nobody coming in. So that would put less demand on gasoline. If autos and gasoline are excluded, U.S. retail sales still rose a solid 6.6% last month. So there you go. One of the 2 categories to watch is restaurant sales, which rose a healthy also 0.6%. People tend to buy more takeout and go out to eat more if they feel secure in their jobs and don't think a recession is coming. To be sure, there are some times of tariff-related stress. Sales at stores that sell furniture and consumer electronics, most of which are imported, fell last month. No, those are high-priced durables. Some of those are still not recovering. Bicycle industry, definitely not recovering. Big pictures, the economy has been sluggish this year because of the uncertainty caused by trade wars and maybe jobs. And not knowing how much anything's going to cost has made businesses hesitant to hire and invest. And so people are spending more carefully, but we'll see the job numbers in a minute. He'll see. Anyway, the economy can't expect much help from the Federal Reserve. The Fed is not expected to cut interest rates until 2070. That's my guess, is the July meeting in 2070, they will cut rates. The best way for U.S. growth to speed up again, economists say, is for the Trump administration to settle trade disputes and lift the lingering cloud of uncertainty. And the Trump administration, led by Bessent, is saying that the deals are being made and we will see multiple deals, the final deals coming quickly here in the next 2 weeks. All right. So what about those jobs? Well, more good news. In the week ending July 12th, the advanced figure for seasonally adjusted initial claims was 221,000, a decrease of 7,000 from the previous week's revised level. And the last week was revised up by 1,000, so not very much. Notice the revisions under Trump are not as much. Okay, and not only that, the 221 was way under the 232 that was estimated by those, the idiots, the economists that are being polled who haven't been right ever, I don't think, on this for months and months and months. 4-week moving average was 229,500, which was a decrease of 6,250. The total number of continued weeks claimed for benefits in all programs also fell by 4,070, which means that people that are laid off are finding jobs. Okay, so I don't know. You still want more good news? Oh, come on. Isn't that enough? Let's go. Philadelphia Fed. Manufacturing activity in the region expanded overall this month, according to the firm's responded to the July Manufacturing Business Outlook Survey. The survey's indicator for general activity returned to positive territory. The indices for new orders and shipments both increased this month. All three indices recorded their highest reading since February, and the employment index turned positive, suggesting overall increases in employment. Both price indices, the input prices and the prices they're going to charge, rose after declining last month and continue to suggest overall price increases. The future activity indicators suggest that the firms continue to expect growth over the next 6 months. The diffusion index for current general activity rose 20 points to a positive 15.9 in July. This is the first positive reading after 3 negative readings. Nearly 32% of the firms reported increases in general activity and 16% reported decreases. So we're looking at more good news. All right, I know you've had, that should be enough, right? We don't need any more good news. Okay, this would be from Market Watch. Home builder confidence was up marginally in July as demand for homes remains weak, but builders ramp up price cuts in a frenzied attempt to boost sales. Builder sentiment rose 1 point in July, boosted by the passage of President Donald Trump's one big, beautiful bill, but it did not, Bill Act now, but it remains low overall due to concerns about high interest rates and economic and policy uncertainty. You realize, does everybody realize that the interest rates are normal? Yeah, they're higher than they've been for the last 20 years, but they're normal for history. So maybe people will get used to the new normal because maybe they're never coming. No, I don't actually believe that. You know, I don't believe that. The interest rates are coming down and people are waiting for that to happen, which doesn't make any sense because you can get the mortgage now and then you can refinance it a year from now or 2 years from now when the rates do come down. The National Association of Home Builders monthly confidence index rose 1% to 33. But a year ago, it stood at 41. In some markets where builders have been active, such as in Florida, they've been throwing out sales incentives that are so outrageous, like giving homes away. Yeah, so Florida is definitely in trouble. They overbuilt. They had a bad hurricane. They're definitely got more homes than they know what to do with. But the high home prices and 7% mortgage rates are weighing on the housing markets. Home sales remain anemic. And they're also reluctant to buy because the future of the U.S. economy looks a little uncertain. I think this is kind of the linchpin. The housing sector has weakened in 2025 due to poor affordability conditions. Cuts in home prices have not stimulated sales, so people are starting to delist their homes because they don't need to sell, and they're fine. And so no, I'm not going to sell now. I'm going to wait. So they're ramping up the deals. We know from our field work in the market, builders are often advertising and using a combination of interest rate buydowns, closing cost assistance, credits towards option spend, and other incentives, along with outright price cuts in order to make the deals. Yes, builders are making sales. However, it's taking lofty incentive packages to get them there. Truflation up a little bit to 2.0, up to 2.0. From 1.81. It's been moving up all this week. Trump's at 49. He's also moving back up to closer to where he's been recently. A big article, a big deal on CNN today talking about the Republicans just love Trump more than ever. And the VIX down under 16 again, I think. Let's double check that right now before I start, because before I go into the rest. No, 17% right now, which is about where it's been. So that's a good number, though. Let's look at Tesla. Tesla is up 0.16. It has been up and down around the flat mark. It's been a little bit under for a minute. Right now, it's up 0.16 at 322.17. With all that good news, you would think everything would be flying, but no. The Dow Jones is only up 0.2, and it was up more. The NASDAQ is up 0.44. It is, pretty much at the high for the day. And the S&P is up 0.24. And it is a little bit down from where it was earlier. The Magnificent Seven are mostly down, but you've got Microsoft and NVIDIA up a bit, about a full percent each. And that's recent. They just popped in the last 45 minutes or so. You've got the Cathie Woods are mixed, completely mixed, mostly up, a couple of down. All right, let's go ahead and look at the bonds, we have got the 10-year is up, down 2 full basis points. That's good at 4.43. It needs to drop a lot more than that. Okay. And then we've got oil up a little bit, up 36 cents, 66.76, very close to the middle of where it's been recently. We've got natural gas up 1.44% at 3.6. It's getting back into the top, into the higher end of its range, because it's been really between 4 and 5 3 and 4 for a very long time. Gold. Go ahead. Can we say it out loud? It's actually 33.33. I mean, right down to the last dollar, 33.33 and 20 cents. That's too much fun. Silver, 38.06. That's about where it was last night. Just a little bit down from its all-time high that it crossed over recently. So now down almost a full, over like $1.50 from its new all-time high. Copper down 0.92 at 5.475, finally under 550. So backing off a little bit from that tariff-related jump from roughly $5 to 550. We have got the dollar climbing. I'm showing mixed, but the headline says it's climbing. Bitcoin up. No, I'm sorry, down this morning, only $360, 118,814. So down, a fair amount from its recent high, but still in pretty good shape. All right. So as mentioned, now listen, what I want you to do for sure is I want you to go back last night. I want you to watch the video with Brian Wong and I last night, because what are we doing in that video? We're announcing our new book. And this book will have Brian and I writing about AI and what's going to happen, what is happening, who are the leaders, who are the winners, who are the losers. That's what the book's going to be about. We have 8 authors that are going to be contributing to the book. In addition to Brian and I, you can probably guess some of their names. Maybe you can guess all their names if you watch this channel a lot. They're going to all be contributing to the book. It's going to be a huge bestseller. I'm guaranteeing you that. And it's going to be a fantastic book. The chapters are already chosen, but go back and check that out last night and find out the details of what we're doing. Also, we're looking for folks to help us out. A couple of people have already stood up. We've got a couple of folks in my email this morning saying that they'd love to participate. So go check that out, how you can do that. And then stay tuned today for Bradford Ferguson at about 5:30-ish. And then 7:45 for Cern Basher. Yes, it will be great. And yeah, that's all I've got for you right now. It has been great, as always, talking to you.